He would hope and wants to turn the world on to the movies, which are propaganda movies, of the Satanist Kenneth Anger. Bono sees it, speaking of Zoo TV Network, as a window for the world to the films of Kenneth Anger. Part of America's dilemma is its TV, because as a mirror, it's a pretty distorted one. I mean, where can you see Kenneth Anger's films in the United States? Just who is Kenneth Anger, who Bono is, promoting and wanting to turn so much of the world onto?
Woven deeper into the Westchester group was a mixture of more hardcore individuals, and they were known as the Process in general terms, although they didn't really use that name a lot.
The Process Church of Final Judgment. Confidential federal documents show the group has been investigated for various criminal activities. The Process first registered as a non-profit religious institution in Louisiana in the 1960s and spread to other states, often changing names.
And they believed that the end of the world would come around the year 2000, and they believed that Jehovah and Lucifer and Satan were working together to bring about terrible cataclysmic events. And these people were, based on that belief, they were working with Satan to try to bring in a lot of chaos.
In 1973, Page believed the ghost of a headless man haunted his Bullockskeene house. He called Kenneth Anger to exorcise the entity. Anger agreed and cleansed the house. Page subsequently committed to performing the musical score of Anger's film, Lucifer Rising. Lucifer Rising began production in 1967, but was plagued by tragedy. A 5-year-old boy named Goddard, cast to play the Lucifer Child, leapt from his apartment window to his death. Bobby Beausoleil, cast to play the Lucifer Teen, joined the Manson family and murdered schoolteacher Gary Hinman. In 1976, while editing his film at Page's Mill House, Anger finally received the musical score to Lucifer Rising.
The reason why he didn't deliver the soundtrack was that he had a problem with heroin.
Dissatisfied, he fires Page. Anger is evicted from Millhouse without his film. Hungry for revenge, Kenneth Anger publicly places a curse on Jimmy Page.
And we pretended it could last forever. Hey.
am very honored tonight to introduce you to a man who doesn't need any introduction. Avant-garde filmmaker and author of Hollywood Babylon, he will talk to us tonight about Aleister Crowley. Please welcome Kenneth Anger.
I am who I am, and it's tattooed on my chest, so in case I forget. You see, people that get Alzheimer's suddenly can forget their own names. Crowley was not afraid of devils. In fact, they were part of his family. He was never afraid of anything on the other side. Angel, devil, whatever. You know, these are names you put on entities. But he said, welcome, friend. And he ended up painting his bedroom in this farmhouse that he rented, and it was called the Villa Santa Barbara, an 18th century farmhouse on a hill overlooking Cefalù, which is a rather quiet tourist place now. Above his bed was a great goat having intercourse with a red-headed woman, who of course would be the Scarlet Woman. And you do have this recurring of sexual images because basically that's what Crowley was all about. His religion was solar, not lunar. Solar, phallic religion. A man's religion that allowed women in, the so-called lunar element, but it was dominated by men. You know, if you want the other side, go join Wicca.
hoped to get his disciples into influential positions in America to influence the masses. One such disciple was former Harvard professor turned drug guru Timothy Leary. Timothy Leary, the defunct Harvard professor, led the drug revolution in the 1960s as he handed out mescaline and LSD like it was candy to the youth. This in turn opened up the hippie youth of the West to the pagan demonic gods of the East, who were also promoted by Aleister Crowley. We can see here that Timothy Leary is under a painting which bears the number of the Antichrist, 666, who is prophesied to rule the world until he's destroyed by Christ at Armageddon. Timothy Leary claimed that he came to the realization that he was to usher in Crowley's new age when he was using Crowley's tarot cards. Leary asked the question, who am I and what is my destiny? Leary claims that he then cut to the Ace of Disc. Robert Anton Wilson declared, this shows a large disc bearing the Greek letters to Megatherion, the great beast. Leary interpreted this to mean that he is Crowley reborn and is supposed to complete the work Crowley began.
And then the story got back to England and the Daily Express, which was run by Lord Beaverbrook, and they made a big thing about Crowley having human sacrifice in Sicily. And so this image built up, which is still around, of Crowley being the wickedest man in the world.
And they made a big thing about Crowley having human sacrifice in Sicily.
Crowley and I have always been on the same wavelength because he has the kind of sense of humor that I absolutely am at one with. Okay. Well, what is my connection with the Jonas Brothers? You see, they're under contract to an entity called DISNEY, Disney.